Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's episode of Tarot by Hillary Live. I am your host Hillary of tarotbyhillary.com. Website is right down there if you want to book a reading with me. I am a professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and connecting you to your own intuition, which, yes, my friend, you do absolutely have intuition. So tonight's episode, I don't think is going to be a very long episode. It's going to be pretty short and sweet because tonight we are talking about the topic of reversals. First of all, do you need to read with reversals? No, you don't have to read with reversals. And in fact, in some divination systems, there are no reversals of the cards, such as the Lenormand. Typically, when you do a Lenormand reading, there's no reversals in Lenormand. So a lot of people think that if you do tarot readings and you don't read with reversals, that doesn't make you a good tarot reader, or it doesn't make you a real tarot reader. And I'm here to say that's absolutely not true. There are some people that the concept of reversals is not a concept that they use, and they are still 100% professional and legitimate tarot readers. So let me start this episode by saying you do not have to read with reversals. But if you do choose to read with reversals, I do have a couple of tips and tricks for you and how I personally read with reversals. So if you have already decided that you're not going to read with reversals, good for you. You don't really have to watch this episode. So, if you are tuning in live, I would love to hear that you're here live. Go ahead and plop your name and your location into the chat so I can see you and say hello to you. And if you're watching the replay, just say replay and say where you're tuning in from, whether it is midnight your time or 7 a.m. It doesn't matter. The power of these lives is that you can access the replays anytime that you want to if you need to get a fresh hit of tarot knowledge or psychic knowledge. So I am here for you. So we do have at least one question that did get pre-submitted ahead of the live broadcast from Katie. I'll be happy to answer that at the end of the episode where I do the live Q&A. So I'll answer your question as well. And hopefully I'm already going to answer your question in the span of this broadcast. So I hope everyone has been having a fantastic week. It has been a relatively quiet week for me this week because I did take a few days off, and I also did not do a tarot card of the day today. The day got away from me. I was binge watching the series New Girl with Zooey Deschanel in it, and I had never watched it while it was on air, and now me and my husband are catching up with all of the episodes. So we're on like season 4 right now. So hydration break if you need it. All right. So let me double check that this is recording properly. And I'm glad that these comments are coming up on the screen in my Be Live studio window, because otherwise even the pre-submitted comments are coming up here. So I'm really glad that I don't have to grab for another device to look over those comments. But let me just double check that we are in fact broadcasting live. Yes, we are. Looks like it's all good. So if you're having any technical issues seeing me and hearing me, also please let me know in the chat, because we're going to do something a little bit different tonight, because I have tackled this topic before during one of my free challenges that I usually offer in April every year as kind of like in honor of my birthday. It's a birthday gift for you, and I do a free 5-day challenge called the Card a Day Challenge, because to me, pulling a tarot card each and every day really is the best way to up your tarot mastery and get you into the habit of pulling tarot cards and interpreting tarot cards, because How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. That is what I believe is one of the best ways to really get yourself into the tarot mindset, is to remember to pull a tarot card each and every day. Integrate tarot into your daily life so that it becomes a regular habit that you don't even have to think about it. And then you're going to feel like the interpretation process of a tarot card is much more accessible to you because you're doing it on a daily basis. So in that spirit, I'm going to go ahead and air one of the challenge videos out of that 5-day card a day challenge, which is day number 2, about reading with reversals, because I have covered this topic before. Yes, I can talk about this topic off the cuff, but I already have a video right here for you guys that is accessible. And if you want to participate in that challenge, look out for it. I usually do it the first week of April every year, and it's a 5-day challenge. So not only do I encourage you to pull a tarot card each and every day, which you will see at the end of the video that I will show you. Not only am I encouraging you to pull a tarot card each and every day, I'm also giving you a portion of tarot teaching for you to take away from that challenge. So day 1 is about the history of the tarot and a brief breakdown of the structure of tarot, and day 2 is about reading with reversals, and it is the shortest video out of all of them. It's only about 6 minutes. So I figured that I would show it here because I have already covered that topic in detail with an edited video. So let me go ahead and pull that up now. And I will be back in here with you live right after this. So let's cross our fingers and hope that it works. I'm going to go ahead and break down. Hold on, let's see. I am going to take off the background's fine here. The overlay, I'm going to take off the overlay for right now. And take off this. So the screen is uncluttered. Let's hope that this works. Let me know in the chat if it is not working. Hi everybody, I'm Hillary from tarotbyhillary.com, and welcome to day 2 of the Card a Day Challenge. Today we're going to talk about reversals. So this is going to be a super short video compared to yesterday's video, which was covering tarot's history and its basic structure and introducing you to the challenge and everything else. This is going to be short and sweet. Today we're talking about reversals. So reversals, to be brief, are when you pull a tarot card and it's upside down. As you remember yesterday, I happened to pull the Fool reversed, and I told you, don't worry about reversals right now, put it upside down, put it right side up, because we're not going to worry about them right now. Today, we're going to talk about them. So basically, you pull a tarot card and it's upside down. That's what a reversed tarot card is. So some tarot readers take this to be an outright negation of the upright meaning of the card. Other readers, myself included, see a reversal as a blockage or miscommunication of the card's energy. So still others don't even read with reversals at all. So the reason why I read with reversals is because I like the visual. I like having the visual of the reversed card to show the energy that's going on, both to myself, if I'm reading for myself, or if I'm reading for a client. You've got the upside down card, and that is a very clear visual sign to them that something's not quite right, or something's not quite jiving. That, to me, is what a reversed card is, and why you use reversals. So other readers that don't use reversals, they tend to tell me that they like to feel their way, or gauge by feeling alone whether or not the card is reversed to them. It might not look like it's reversed, but to them, they feel like there's a reversal there without the visual. And this is the reason why I read with reversals, because I like the visual. I like seeing, and that is kind of a part of how intuitive information comes to me. I kind of see it in pictures and little snapshots in movies, so I like the visual. So that's all there really is to reversals. Now, a lot of people think of reversals as, okay, well, I've got the upright meaning and then I've got the reversed meaning. So does this mean that it's 78 cards times 2 now because I'm going to read with reversals? Well, yeah, and kind of no at the same time. This is not a decision that you have to make now, though. So I encourage you during this challenge, if a reversal does come up for you, now you can actually leave it reversed and take a look at it and see what might be coming to you with that reversal. Are there certain symbols on the card that are now upside down that might indicate an energy leaving the card or an energy coming back into the card? And how is that applicable to your day or to the question that you asked the tarot? So, reversals, yay or nay? It's completely up to you. You don't have to choose right now, but there you have it. It's just another tool in your arsenal, just like the tarot is. So, if you do like using them, that's great. If you don't like using them, that's fine too. It's completely up to you. So, that's it for today. Let's go ahead and pull your card of the day for today. So hopefully you guys you heard all of that. You could see that, you could hear that. I'm just double checking that I can actually, I'm back over to this audio instead. I hope that video worked, and if it did, I will be definitely doing more of that in future because I've already recorded quite a bit about different tarot topics, reversals being one of them. But I am here live right now. As you could see from the video, I recorded that video, I believe 2 years ago when I first started doing the card a day challenge every April. So that was recorded about 2 years ago. I think this year is going to be the 3rd year that I'm going to be running that free challenge. And so if you're interested in that, you want to sign up to my newsletter. It's available on my website. Let me go ahead and pull that back up as usual. So I was listening to that video along with you guys. And what past me said still holds true. So test it out. Try out reading with reversals. And if it's not for you, then don't read with reversals. If it is for you, go ahead and read with reversals. As I was saying in the video, it really, to me, is a really great visual way of seeing that miscommunication or that miscommunication or blockage to that particular energy of that card to its upright meaning. It's not an outright negation of that card's upright meaning. In fact, most of the time it's not a complete negation. It's usually like, oh, like for example, if it's the Lover's card to me is way more about making a decision, making a choice, rather than sexy fun time or like lover stuff. But the reversed Lovers to me would be like difficulty making that choice. Not necessarily that choice should not be made at all, but it's just a difficulty, a blockage, a miscommunication in making that choice. This is, of course, a general interpretation. I would need to know, I would have to have someone in front of me to be more specific about it with, of course, the context of their question, what they're asking about. But I've seen the Lover's card as someone stalling on a decision. So that's like a quick and dirty way of, or quick way of reading a reversal. So to me, because I'm visual, I like to see the visual of the reversed card to know that it's reversed. There are other readers that like I was saying in the video, that don't need the reversal because they feel their way and they feel that that card is a reversed interpretation. They may not use that exact verbiage to say it, but they feel that reversed meaning into the card. So, quick overview again. So we're talking today about reading with reversals. Do you have to? Do you have to read with reversals? No, you don't have to read with reversals. Some people have gone for years without reading with reversals. And how do you read with reversals? You read with reversals. Reversals to me are a miscommunication or a blockage to that situation, to that energy. And if you're not sure about whether or not you want to read with reversals, try it out. If a card comes up reversed, try reading it reversed and seeing if you can, if it's something to your liking. And if it's not, you don't have to do it. I mean, tarot is a very personal thing, and not everyone reads in exactly the same way. And you don't have to read in the same way either. You do not have to read with reversals if you don't want to. I do have another video that I do have on my YouTube channel about shuffling in order to integrate reversals into your tarot deck if you want to do them. So I'm going to do that really quickly here because I had that video queued up, but I don't have the other video that I'm talking about queued up. So I'm going to give you a quick example on how to introduce reversals into your shuffling if you do want to read with reversals. So, hi Dina, nice to see you. And Katie also has a question, I believe, around this. So let me go ahead and tackle her question right now because I believe I'm going to answer it while showing you how to shuffle. So Katie asked ahead of the broadcast, and it's gonna cut out here. This episode, I'm very curious to see. My question is, how do you go about shuffling and drawing your cards when reversals are in them? Some people turn their cards from the top over, and others turn their cards from the side. If reversals are being used, this becomes important as they are not, and if they are not using reversals, any reversal appearing is just righted. Interested in both shuffling and drawing the cards to include reversals, please. So, yep, Katie, I got you. I'm covering this right now. And I'm also going to answer some of those questions that come up because it's really interesting. The further you go into reading tarot, sometimes you have to go back to basics because it's something that I don't even think about, honestly, when I'm pulling cards anymore, is the mechanics of it, the very day-to-day simple mechanics of it, because I just kind of like go now and I shuffle and I pull the cards and I don't think about how I'm pulling the cards. But I know exactly what you're talking about, Katie, when you're asking about that. So first of all, introducing reversals into your tarot deck. So I've got here a beautiful deck, the Mystic Dreamer Tarot by Heidi Darras. Beautiful, beautiful deck. So this is the first one that I had to hand right now. So here's your tarot deck. And just first off, the way I shuffle is not necessarily the way that you're going to shuffle, but I shuffle overhand only because I have very small hands, like ridiculously small hands. So what I do is I shuffle overhand. So this is how I shuffle overhand. This is my left hand here. So I take my left hand and I use my left hand as a catcher. So I've got it like this. See how my hand is? So that I can use my thumb to catch as I shuffle with my right hand. So actually I more do it like maybe like that. And all I do is shuffle overhand and see how I'm using my thumb. to catch. That's how I shuffle. So if you're using only upright, you're not using with reversals, you're not reading with reversals, this is a fine way to shuffle. But you're not going to be able to reverse your cards like this. If your hands are big enough, you can certainly do a bridge method where you take like you would do playing cards, where you take the deck, you'd cut that in half, and then, you'd take your thumbs or whatever and you'd bridge. And you can even do it this way or this way. But since tarot cards are a bit bigger than playing cards, most of the time you can't bridge a tarot deck. So I tend to do it like this. But you're not going to get reversals this way. So I recommend, if you want to introduce reversals into your deck, you could do a messy pile. So by messy pile, I just mean you take a flat surface and take your tarot deck and zhuzh your hands all over it. And that way you turn the cards around and over and under each other. And then you can gather up that pile and you've got a shuffled deck with reversals in it. Or if you prefer the overhand method, which I do, all you do is you take the deck. Whoop, I'm going to read what that is later. You have it, turn it over, put it back in, shuffle. And then you do it a few more times, as many times as you want to. So take a half or less than a half, turn, put it back together, shuffle again. So does everyone understand that? If you understand that, give me a hell yeah in the chat. Let me know. I'm going to pick back up this card. Actually, there's 2 cards that fell out there. 2 of Wands and the Knight of Swords reversed. Reversed. See? It works. But that is how I introduce reversals into a deck if I want to read with reversals. So I hope that answers part of Katie's question, but here's the other part of Katie's question. So how do you go about shuffling and drawing your cards when reversals are? So I already answered that. Some people turn their cards from the top over and others turn their cards from the side. If reversals are being used, this becomes important. Yes, exactly. Because if you're done shuffling, right, we'll call this done shuffling, and you're ready to pull from the top or the bottom card, however you like to do it. I usually like to pull from the top. The bottom card, I sometimes call the deep card. And sometimes you like to look at what the bottom card is to see maybe underlying theme of the reading or maybe what's going on under the surface. But if you're shuffling and you're done shuffling and you're ready to pull from the top, if you pull like this and then over, you've just either uprighted a card that was meant to be reversed or reversed a card that was meant to be upright. So, like for example, so I just went flippy, right? And I got the Page of Wands upright. But if I had pulled from the side, then the card would have had their original position, their original upright or reversal. So Katie's question is very pertinent here. And Katie just made it. Hello. Hi, Katie. I'm just answering your question right now. So when you are pulling cards, when you're ready, do what you feel. Honestly, if you feel like you need to pull and up and over, then it is how it is. If you want to pull from the side, pull from the side. But what I like to do, what I normally do, because of this exact issue that Katie brought up, I do usually pull from the side so that I can keep that upright or reversal intact as it was meant to be after shuffling or after my client shuffled. So I hope that answers your question, Katie. If it didn't, please feel free to clarify in the chat what your question was and let me know. But yeah, that's it. Reading with reversals does not have to be a crazy thing, and you don't have to do it. If you don't want to read with reversals, that's totally fine. But give it a chance if you want to, because you won't know if it works for you unless you try it. So I would encourage you to at least try it out and see if you like it or not. If you don't like it and you want to go back to just reading cards upright and feeling your way, that's completely fine too. And then if you are shuffling and you did happen to get reversals and you don't read with reversals, just turn that card right side up and have them all be upright. Really, like, your tarot practice is yours, so make it yours. If you're not comfortable reading with reversals, don't read with reversals. So Katie is saying thank you, so I'm going to assume that was the question that she meant to ask. So now, any other questions that anyone might have, please feel free to let me know, either about the subject of reversals or about tarot in general. Let me know. I will be happy to answer them. And if there aren't any questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up with the weekend forecast as usual, even though it is a holiday week and it has not felt like any day of the week for me. It feels very weird. It's not even Friday to me, because me and my husband, like I said at the top of the broadcast, we've just been binge watching New Girl pretty much for the past few days. Made it through 4 seasons so far out of 7 seasons. And we just watched the new episode of The Mandalorian as well. Check that out. If you're in the mood for something Star Wars that is not The Rise of Skywalker, check out The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. And of course, now I'm going to go through Withdrawal, because I believe that was the last episode in the first season. So I don't know when they're going to be coming out with new episodes of The Mandalorian, and it's making me like, ah! So let me know if you have any questions, and then we're going to move on to the weekend forecast, and then I'm going to let you get on with the rest of your Friday, or whatever day it is for you if you happen to be watching the replay. Let me see. Actually, if we have enough people in here and you want a one charm reading, I do have my Tessera Oracle with me. Instead of doing a weekend forecast, I can pull some Tessera. So, and I'm just grabbing for it right now. So, let me know. And by the way, thank you, Katie, for sending in your question ahead of time. That's totally great with me. I love that, because I do pre-schedule these Facebook Lives. They happen every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we do a different tarot topic each week. So if you have questions ahead of the broadcast that you want to ask, and you think that you might not be able to make it live, go ahead and ask your question ahead of time. I would love to hear it. So, Dina's saying, who is Mandalorian in tarot? Well, The Mandalorian is a series on Disney Plus. But are you asking me who the Mandalorian would be if he was in a tarot deck? That's a different question. So let me know if that's what you're asking. Because we could go down the rabbit hole talking about pop culture and different series and seeing which character they are or which archetype they are in the tarot. And that, by the way, is an excellent other way of learning tarot, is taking different series that you're interested in, different books that you're interested in, and seeing where those characters fit into the Fool's Journey. I usually like to do it mostly with the Major Arcana, because that seems to be more of the archetypal energy. Yeah. So yes, Dina's asking that. So who is the Mandalorian in tarot? Honestly, Mandalorian in tarot. I would say The Hermit, honestly. I don't want to get into details about the series, especially if people are watching it or haven't watched it, and I don't want to spoil it for them. But he feels like Dean is saying Knight of Swords. Actually, that would be a really great tarot card for as representative of him, Mandalorian. I was going to go with the Hermit, actually, only because the Hermit card is a loner, but that's like, it's not even just because he's a loner. It's more because the hermit is not the hermit unless he comes back down from his shack or from the mountain or from his solitude and brings those lessons back to the people. And in The Mandalorian, again, I don't want to give spoilers, but there are certain aspects of that character. He is like a lone character, or at least he starts out that way. And as the series progresses, he becomes more not necessarily dependent on other people, but he becomes more attached to other people, and he kind of rejoins society, because Mandalorian, like the whole creed of the Mandalorian is they only go up to the surface one at a time. They don't have a huge group because like that is their way. That's one of the credos of the Mandalore is this is the way, and you hear that repeated throughout the season of The Mandalorian. This is the way. And there are different ways of doing things. This is the way. Why do we do it? This is the way. And so one of those things is they only go one at a time up to be bounty hunters or take back money or bring that money back to the Conclave. So to me, the Mandalorian is kind of like a hermit character because he is alone, but then he rejoins society and he brings his knowledge back to society. So, and also the world changes him in turn. So I would say the hermit. But thank you for asking. That's a really great question. So Dina sees the Mandalorian as the Knight of Swords. I can definitely see that as well, because the Knight of Swords, what is the Knight of Swords? What did knights do? They were in service to their king, right? And they would protect, they would serve. So Knight of Swords, that would be kind of like a gunslinger, a warrior, that's the Knight of Swords. So I could see him being the Knight of Swords too. By the way, there is no right or wrong answer for that, because like the more you discuss how that character is that tarot card, the more you learn about that tarot card's energy, and you can see things in different ways as well. It's not just a pat answer of keywords or rote interpretations. This is, again, how you make the tarot your own. So, great question. Any other questions before we go ahead and do the weekend forecast? And I think I am going to do the weekend forecast based on the Tessera. So I'm going to pull one Tessera charm, since this is one of the things that I have to hand right now. And it's very warm in here because I am broadcasting in my closet, which has very good acoustics, and blocks out the noise outside. So, all right. Let me go ahead and pull up this. And we're going to go ahead and do the weekend forecast. Okay? Okay. So the weekend forecast, again, is going to come to us this time from the Tessera Oracle. Tessera Oracle is amazing. It's part divination system. It's part charms. It's part jewelry. You can take each of these charms and put it on a necklace and wear it to remember the message. So I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Tessera Oracle and pull one charm to see what the weekend has in store for us. And I am going to have my little companion cards with me. Oh, awesome. So this weekend we have, for our weekend forecast, we have the newest member of the Tessera Oracle, the Crow. Let me go ahead and hold it up. Can you see him? Really, really pretty. Actually, should I turn it that way? Yeah. So that is the newest Tessera Oracle charm. And I'm going to go ahead and read from the card, and hopefully I have it right here on top because I just added it. Yes. Okay. So I will hold up the charm as I'm doing this interpretation. So the crow, your intelligence and creativity can solve any problem, but don't get distracted by shiny things. Do not underestimate your intelligence, creativity, or abilities, especially when they are different from those of others. A crow who spends all their time looking at frogs will start to think, am I bad at jumping? Instead of thinking, I can fly. Every drop of energy you put into comparing yourself to others is less energy you have for your own goals. When you don't appreciate your own potential, it is easy to become distracted by things that seem shiny and new. Value the perspective you bring to every situation. You don't think like everyone else, and understand that that is a gift. So, questions you need to ask yourself when the crow comes up. What is something you've thought of as a weakness that might be a strength? How is your intelligence different from the people around you? And is there something distracting you from your goals? So that is the crow from the Tessera Oracle. That is our weekend forecast for this weekend. So remember to get yourself away from bright and shiny object syndrome. I think of it kind of as the Seven of Cups in the tarot, where it's like there's so many glittering objects in front of you that you don't really know which way to go, or which idea is the right idea for you, or which path is the right path for you. And the crow is basically saying, like, find your uniqueness, and know that, like, stop the comparison syndrome, because it's going to kill you. You're not going to get anywhere, and you're wasting time basically comparing yourself to everybody else, when you should just be yourself and focus on your own goals, because that is in your wheelhouse. That is your skill set, so use it. Thank you, the crow. Gorgeous. Gorgeous charm. I love this charm. I love this oracle. It's a really great oracle. And if you want to get it, tesseraoracle.com. And I believe you don't have to get all of the charms. You can pick and choose which charms speak to you and make your own divination system. So thank you, Tessera Oracle. So that is the weekend forecast. And if we don't have any other questions, please go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, but go ahead and ask your questions while we still have a little bit of time here. Give me some hearts, give me some likes. If you continue to want to see these videos, I'm doing them for you. If you're watching the replay, or if you're watching somewhere else other than Facebook, if I've already posted this to YouTube and you're watching it on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more videos like this. As always, let me go ahead and pull up. We do this Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday. And I am Hillary of tarotbyhillary.com. Go ahead and go to that website if you would like a reading with me. Please keep in mind, if you're trying to get into my DMs getting a free reading, I am not the girl for you. Please schedule your reading with me. I'm telling you, these weekend forecasts, these one-card readings, I mean, they're great, but a full reading with me may or may not change your life. I think it might change your life, as long as you're willing to change your life. Tarot is an empowering tool. It is there to help you. If you walk away from a tarot reading feeling worse than when you went in, like, that's not the right tarot reader for you. A good tarot reading should make you feel empowered when you leave there, empowered, ready to take on the world, feeling like you have a lot more clarity, but ultimately Tarot is a tool, and the real magic is inside of you. You are the one making your life. You're bringing your future to yourself. And tarot can help you kind of navigate those waters and help bring that future to you. But ultimately, you have to take the reins and make it happen. Like, no one's going to do it for you, and tarot is not a magic wand. You are the magic wand. So let me close this off. I am Hillary of tarotbyhillary.com. Go ahead and schedule a reading. I will see you next week on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any suggestions or any tarot topics that you want me to cover, please go ahead and let me know. But I will see you next time. Name of that oracle deck. Oh, before we leave, hi Diane, nice to see you. So the name of that oracle deck is the Tessera Oracle. I will go ahead and put it in the chat. I believe it's tesseraoracle.com. It's a really awesome oracle. There we go. Let me show you, tesseraoracle.com. And I'm just going to double check that before I leave here, so that I make sure that I'm giving you the right address. Yes, tesseraoracle.com. It is gorgeous. I think you would really enjoy it. Let me put everything back up the way it is. There we go. Okay, so once again, thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm Hillary of tarotbyhillary.com, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and assuring you that, my friend, you do have intuition and I can help you connect to it. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.